on paper since his mid-teens. Upon arrival in Montreal in 2000, he transitioned from writing to performing his poetry via local open mics, college and high school stages across Canada and the US. Kym has performed in Jamaica, Barbados, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, and New York. His company, Mad Poetics Productions, runs a monthly open mic series called Mad Poetics Soirées Intimes, which has run consistently since April 2011. His aim with this series is to focus on quality artistic events. He continues to innovate in working to incorporate different disciplines like filmmaking and theater with poetry. Please welcome Kym Dominique-Ferguson.
How's everybody doing? All right, I want some help before I get started. So I'm gonna say we at the Griot and y'all say summit. And every time I say it, you say it louder and louder and louder and louder and louder until I start my poem, okay? We at the Griot
Summit!
Oh, come on, y'all can do better than that. We at the Griot
Summit!
We at the Griot
Summit!
We at the Griot
Summit!
How dare you speak as if I was less than you? How dare you speak as if I was beneath you? This is not 1492. This is not 1492. You are not Christopher Columbus. I am not semi-precious cargo in the bowel of your slave ship, cast among bowels, saturated bodies packed tightly together like tin tuna fish soaked in your feces and urine, yours and mine intertwined into a septic, wooden grave, rat-infested chambers that even the lowest of your henchmen would wrench violently at the stench. How dare you look down on me as if for a moment you could fathom a mile, 10 yards, an inch, walked in my shoes, ancestral screams coursed through my veins, disemboweled by a severe allergy to lynching. My reaction leaves me with tongue swollen, eyes bulging, and my neck breaks out in blistering sores. My mother nursed you on her tit when you were but a baby because you were better than her own flesh and blood. My father hoisted on a cross, whipped within the strand of his breath, between life and death. The depth of every lash will lynch my mother, making her bitter, will lynch my brother, saturating his mind with fear. How dare you claim to understand with hand pressed dramatically against your chest and an upside down plastic smile lathering your lips, something vulnerable. I can't stand the voices of volunteers who live but a blip on the radar screen of life in places like Darfur, Haiti, Rwanda, and the slums of Brazil. Oh, you may have suffered without the luxury of having hot water running freely through pipes, but imagine never knowing when any water will flow. Imagine 2-3 months without water to cook, clean, or wash with. Imagine a year-long drought that rots everyone with enough anger and fear that they become desperate enough to feed their children seasoned mud pies just to appease the grumbling in their little bellies. How dare you look down on me as if I do not belong? Have you not heard the words of this poem? You and I's bloodlines intertwined so much you cannot pick out the strands, different from the other, fused together, this melting pot melding us into one single nation. It's time to come back home, my brothers, my sisters. It's time to see us for who we really are. It's time. We welcome you. Woo. We had the Griot
Summit!
We had the Griot
Summit!
We had the Griot
Summit!
All my people need to stop fight one another. Marcus Garvey would be turning in his grave. Oh, my people need to come together. Well, Bob said, a time for emancipate. The rhythm of the world change, revolution coming home. People, them a get brave, find the strength in our voice we say. It's not a time for we mourn, only passing away sons. Time to blow the horn of the revolution. Separate we self from segregation. 1960s with the civil nation. them, me say walk in peace like Martin Luther. Reverberate your voice a la Malcolm X. No more nigga, them a wiggle for your entertainment. Fire come and meet you, we happy burn them with purification. Fire from the top of Mount Olympus. Miss Fox sit up on a racist bus. Them assassinate my family, me have reason to cuss no more. Of this war and suffering no more. Won't believe the planet no more. Me can't abandon it. The general top man fight for it. I just wanna live as a human being. Don't wanna walk around as and singing. It makes no sense from colors you fleeing. The color of my sin ain't who I be. Question every moment. I choose some black while you make that comment. Suspicion is a sign of a bigger problem. Forgive the past so we can heal the youth them. L'homme des victimes des conscients des crayons. You know de mon bat écrit la crayon. Kounia m'a mette mon ça sous papier. L'homme vient me mourir, me crier. Haïti, ou fais la peine. Me réaliser, je nous parais mais à peine. Sans prise de tu me poignardes le dos. Pratiquez bien l'extraction de mes os. Oh non, ma prend souffrance, oh non. Va me quitter planète, non, oh non. M'a abandonner. Tous ces nouvelles tu t'es pas pour libérer. Oh my people need to stop fight one another. Marcus Garvey would be turning in his grave. Oh my people need to come together. When Bob say, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. No matter what else can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, cause none of them can stop the time. How long shall we kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We got to fulfill the books. Thank you. I'm gonna give you a choice real quick. I can do a poem that I know.
Yes.
Or I can do a new poem that I don't know really well, but I read it to you.
Yes.
There was more yeses for the second. Okay, so this one is called He is the Poetry Bandit. He is the poetry bandit. He is the poetry bandit. He's poetry branded to the recreational, emotional, sycophantic retaliation. Robin Hood style. He'll be Robin Hoods of their acquired goods, redistributing them to the poor. Poors open to the constant pour of the rain's blessings through gifts given from an unknown Santa Claus, dressed in poetry bandit clothes. And he fights. He fights the fight that allows thought to take flight. Excruciating plight against Parkinson's disease. The dis-ease and ease his mental into a life without ease. Muhammad Ali, continuing to flight with the style of he. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Cause ain't nobody better than he. Ain't nobody better than he. Ain't nobody better than me. I take the ropes against the giants, the Joe Frazier's, and I will rope a dope and dope a rope. Take it left hook, jab, jab, uppercut, elbows close to my sides. Rope a dope, dope a rope. Tying out my enemy just like Muhammad Ali. Letting them fight the fight for me. Cause I am the poetry bandit, branded on my arm in Mandarin. Who I am? Poet. From my words, the truth spews, reaching your ears just like a church pews, working you up into a frenzy, crawling in your skin, Lincoln Park passion, goosebumps of the melodic resonance of your heart. We transformed the act of murder, removed the killing, and turned it into art. I am the poetry bandit, eluding the searing look of Soren's only eye, like what the Jamaicans would call Babylonian, like what North Americans call pigs. You dig, dog? Prestidigitation done to trick her out of the virtuousness of her trickling tears. Trig her nometry, tricked as she wept. The pig kept the fingering on the triggering, repetitively squeezing brimstone across pathways of unparalleled underground subway stations from WTC Memorial to Harlem, from Union Station to Scarborough, from Deep South to Halifax. No facts needed, repose of societal confinements. I buried depositions in earth-filled pots. Hope the memory of past lives lived in horrification will sprout little blossoms of truth. setting free my spiritualized ancestral saviors, only to savor crying magentas, orchids, geraniums, and bougainvilleas, whose fluid nectar drops bees, sending symbiotic sound waves through leaves, leaving left-wing aeronautic swinging with life, lifted to my resurrected cousin, lives in a box, facing downwards, bursting blood vessels in throat from screams unheard. He is the Poetry Bandit, branded with poetry on his soul, tattooed tears on his cheeks from stories untold, stealing stories for enrichment of all. He is the Poetry Bandit, banded and bound to the words, but destined to take over the world, one syllable at a syllable, at a syllable, at a syllable, at a syllable, at a time. And I'll finish off my set with just a piece of a piece. Crimson tide rising, my could vanish people in a puff of smoke. Crimson tide rising, Babylon said it's really fit you. Cause when you live by the gun, you gotta die by the gun, yeah. When you live by the gun, you gotta die by the gun, yeah. Run red from the gaping of my head. Run red from the hole in my chest. Run red, your life come to an end. Run red. Me say Babylon system is a system of subjugation. Babylon system, a system of colonization. Crimson tide rising, my could vanish people in a puff of smoke. Crimson tide rising, Babylon is ready for you. Cause when you live by the gun, you gotta die by